we're gonna talk about one thing that can absolutely ruin your van life cabinetry. One thing people don't think about is that their van is gonna be bouncing down the road, and if you have heavy stuff in drawers, those will just fly right open. So you have to think about, how am I going to secure the drawers and fronts in my van so all my stuff doesn't just fly out when I'm driving down the road. And recently in our van layout guide community, which is amazing, by the way, link down below if you want to join. One of our favorite things about this community is that you can ask people real life experience who are building their own DIY camper vans, because maybe you're not doing it professionally and having it converted by a company, but you're taking it on by yourself, and that's what we're here for, is to help you guys. So we hadn't even ever thought about this, and we've actually thought about using the style of latch in the past. These have been very popular in the RV marine world for a long time because, again, they secure your cabinets from flying open. The way they work is you drill a giant hole that this pops through the face of the cabinet, and then when you push it in, this is installed inside the cabinet with a little extra piece that then holds it shut. But again, you are literally drilling a hole this big into your cabinetry. So the faces of all of your cabinets will have a hole this big. These are standard sizes, but I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. This is plastic and just not into it. One of the great things about our group is that you can ask for feedback on stuff like this. So recently somebody was thinking about installing this style cabinet latch, and one of our members said, do not get them. I hate them. They're so hard to pull open, so slippery, nowhere to get a good grip. The idea of not hitting yourself into them is great, but I'd rather use leather straps or anything else than these. Our builder installed them without even asking us. And there's no way of going back because there is a huge hole in each cabinet front, and she's literally crying emoji about it. Another thing we have used over the years are these plastic latches, which allows us to then put a normal style cabinet pull on the drawer or the front and install this on the inside of the cabinet. But we use these for years. They suck and they break all the time. So those are a piece of crap. Now let's get to what we actually use nowadays that has been tried and true and tested over the years of us building vans that, like I said, allows us to still have these beautiful fronts with a normal style cabinet pull like you would see in a house. That's one of the reasons a lot of people come to us, is they love the homey style. We install a metal latch, which I'm going to show you today. We're going to do the full install, super easy, and I will link the ones down below that we use that are awesome. So the great thing about this too is you're not putting a giant hole in the face of your cabinet. You can still use a standard size cabinet pull that you would still use in your house. And if this tarnished or the black started coming off over time, you could switch this out with a different handle, which is actually something we just did in our own house because we were kind of just like sick of the style and felt like switching it up. So that's the other great thing about this standard size cabinet pull with the mechanism on the inside of the drawer that we're going to install today. And I think that's it. So yeah, we have all these beautiful faces. Let's get to work. Now we got to prepare and get all of our stuff, and I feel like it's worth mentioning because a lot of people will probably ask if we don't mention it. Magnetic ones are great too. We actually use this style on upper cabinets, where this is on the inside of the cabinet, this you install on the front. But for drawers and any doors like cabinet doors, closet doors, that kind of thing, we use this other style because they have an adjustable tension and you can put really heavy stuff in it and it will have a crazy, this is like our random hardware drawer. But the magnetic ones just are not strong enough for drawers. Like I said, a lot of our drawers end up pretty big and people load them up with stuff. So magnet ones are great, but not for drawers. I gotta get all my stuff. I've got some of it. One tip to anyone building anything, blue tape should be your best friend so you don't mess people's stuff up. But I don't know where my bit is. I'm not the most organized person. A lot of people too, God, this is like my old hardware drawer, like use the baby latch style ones. I don't think that's any good either. Because I, again, know everybody will comment down below, you could do this. And yes, we know, we've done a lot of things over the years. We've also tested a lot of stuff. So I don't know where my stuff is, so I'm gonna steal someone else's because somebody stole mine. That's the problem when you work in a shop with other people. So got all my stuff, and before we get in the van and show you guys this stuff, I want to show you what the latch looks like. This is, again, tried and true, tested years of vans and people on the road. Gosh, we're in the 30s now of van builds with 5 in the shop. It's been a little nuts. So this is what we use, and we'll link it down below so that other van builders can use them too. We like it because it has these little balls inside and a flat head adjustment where you can make the tension greater. So the two balls will actually move closer together, so then it grabs this piece even better. And again, never any issues with this, and I will show you how I install them. It's pretty simple, but the one thing that does suck about them, there is no room for error. Like, you have to get these right, because as you can see, this isn't like a bigger slot that's adjustable at all. It is, you gotta get it dead on. And Alex actually came up with great techniques, and he made me a jig, which just helps so much. So I've got my center line on here, and as you can see, I've used it quite a bit. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but it works. So here we go. One thing, like I mentioned, blue tape for everything. This is how you protect people's stuff. Now, I have been doing this for years and have an eye for measurements at this point. You're gonna need a tape measure if you wanna go real old school and be super to the, 16th precise. You can measure your center. On the other hand, just put a little extra blue tape right above, so then I can close my drawer, get it eye level, and just eyeball my center line. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm usually pretty dead on. Okay, I may mark my center line. You know what? It's been pretty dead on at pretty much all points. So again, you can get precise. We could get a little square in here and draw our line down, but again, I eyeball stuff because I even used to do a lot of cooking and I would eyeball measurements with like measuring cups. I've never really used measuring cups. Maybe it's a fault of my own. Anyways, then we get our jig, which if you don't have one, you could just, again, use some measurements and find your center on this and then mark your points under there. But for the purpose of this video, again, we're not gonna teach jigs and how to make one, but I'm gonna use my center line, and my center line, mark my spots under there. Broke the pencil lead, which I do just by feeling it, by the way. Okay, now we're good. This is where you have to take the drawer out so you can actually get in there, which I also hate doing sometimes. Try to not scuff things in a van. Move slow, everybody. Okay, set that aside. And I wish I had my safety glasses. I normally do, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna get out and go get them. Oh, look at that. We need a different bit because this one's too long in our drawer. Well, welcome to van building. We had to switch tools because, as you guys saw, oop, that's the wrong one. This was too big for up here with our bit in it. So we actually have a right angle one, which is great for small spaces. So now we can actually get these drilled. Again, I drill obviously with the tape still on it. Take the tape off and let's screw it in. So then this is our little trick. Put some tiny little screws in there, pop it on. Try to not poke yourself. Then grab your drawer again. Again, be careful if you're in a small space like I am. Put it back on. Okay, so now using our tape again, big fan of blue tape around here, we're gonna tape on the back side of the drawer so that then when we close this, we're gonna have our points where those screws stuck in. Perfect. So you can take this out and we're gonna drill these holes and then take the tape off and put it on. And we should be perfectly aligned. Now it's worth noting that I don't use the screws that come with it because these are pretty long. I use even shorter screws so that way they're not moving around and like giving you wiggly points of contact. So we're gonna see, moment of truth, if this works out. Because like I said, these have zero adjustment, which is actually kind of frustrating. Somebody wants to engineer a better product. Let me know if you do want to engineer a better product. We'll help support. And now we've got it on so you guys can see this magic. We've got our two pieces coming together perfectly. And as you can see, that grabs pretty tight already. Now, if they wanted to, they could adjust this to make it, if they're gonna put like heavy dishes, which I don't recommend putting heavy dishes in your van, especially things that are breakable. We have other videos on that, but you could, if something was really heavy in here, you could make that even more tension-based, strength-based, whatever you wanna say. I'm a mom, I don't know, I have mom brain. So that's the simple process we use. And I don't know, we might need to get a tape. It looks pretty centered to me. Let's see, our drawer is 18.5. Pretty much I'm a 16th off. That's within errors. So hopefully this video helped. If you like videos like this, we've got tons on our channel. Van life content, DIY content, if you're doing your own van build and want to travel, because it's super fun. And we've been doing this for 7 years now, which is wild. So we will see you guys on the next video. I'm gonna get to work on the rest of these. I got a lot to do.